Hey there, my friends, and welcome to today's episode of Make Today Mammoth. I am your host, Dallas Hardcastle, the founder of Make Today Mammoth, and I am excited about today's episode. Why am I so fired up? Why am I so excited? Because this is one of the chief 2 or 3 things that just creates stress, anxiety, and slow for people who are trying to run a business and grow it. And I have seen it now for going on for 26 years. And I'm here to tell you, I actually do have the solution to take away the anxieties, take away the stresses, and to be able to get you moving faster than perhaps you've ever moved before. Stick around. This is going to be fire, my friends. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Make Today Mammoth. I am your host, Dallas Hardcastle, and today's episode, we are going to show you how to move faster through business, faster through decisions, faster through uncertainty, so we can remove some of those stressors, remove some of those anxieties, remove some of the questions and uncertainties, so we can gain confidence and move much quicker to be able to get the results that we want faster. Friends, we appreciate you joining us here. If you are a first-time listener, thank you so very much. We appreciate you investing your time and your energies into checking us out. I know that time is our most valuable asset by far. So the fact that you're choosing to spend a little bit of time here with us, we super appreciate that. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much. We are so glad you're back, and I hope you're getting a ton of value of what we're putting out here for you. Our gentleman's agreement, our handshake agreement that we ask you is the one thing, is that if you will please just take a quick moment and give us that 5-star review or share this information, or even if you decide you want to subscribe, please do so, because that is the one thing that we can do, is that handshake agreement that helps us to be able to help more people. We are here doing this obviously for free, and we are selling nothing. We are not a podcast on here trying to sell you stuff. We are here to help you. And our way to help the most people is naturally by making sure that the most people are exposed to this information. And hopefully when people hear us and know that we're real, know that we're excited, know that we're driven, know that we're passionate, and that we're telling truth, and that we're here to just help people grow and succeed, and we're doing it for free, that as more people know about us, more people are going to subscribe and listen, and we get to change more lives. That is the point, my friends. So please take just a second, do that. It would literally just mean the world to me. It really will. And I'll show you a ton of love. If you'll hit me up on social and let me know you did that, I will absolutely show you some love on like Instagram. If you want to go to the Dallas Hardcastle and let me know that you did it, boy, will I show you some serious love. So thank you so very much. So today's episode, I am so excited because this is what we all do when we're getting started in business. And when I say all, I'm going to say almost every single one of us do it in our business lives. And it is that as we are trying to figure things out, as we are learning, as we are growing, we are constantly, we're doing and we're thinking, okay, let me add this one more thing. Let me add this. Oh, I should do that. Oh yeah, someone said I should do this. Oh, this didn't work. So let me add this. Let me add this. Let me add this. We keep going and searching and seeking, trying to find the next thing, the new thing, the better thing that will allow our business to finally take hold, to grow, to work. So if we have, this avatar and we're thinking, okay, let me try this demographic. Let me try 35 to 55-year-olds and start talking to moms and parents and single moms and single dads and people with kids, people without kids, people with low income, people with high income, no houses, apartments, nice cars, not so nice cars, who like to vacation, who don't like to vacation, on and on and on and on. We keep adding, right? And then for our offer, we keep changing our offer, adding our offer. We have a third offer, a fourth offer, a fifth offer. We have a bunch of different traffic sources. We have a bunch of different marketing modalities. We have a bunch of different ways to selling. We keep adding and adding and adding and adding. And what does all of this adding do for us? Well, unfortunately, this is good old 80-20. This is good old Pareto. And you're going to hear me refer to this a lot because it's not a rule. It is a law. It is as certain as gravity that when we are doing 5 things, are we putting 100% of our focus on any of these 5 things? No, I mean, that's math, right? So it's not to say that it has to be, divided by 5, has to be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20% into each of these 5 things. If you're watching me on the YouTubes right now, I'm holding up my fingers, showing you. But we are definitely not putting 100% of our focus and efforts into any of these 5 things. So what we are talking about is how to grow and thrive through elimination. And how we do that is that we begin looking at what's working rather than adding and adding and adding and adding. We work with the marketing agency and they say, add this and this, and then the next one, add this and this. Oh, no, you should really this and this and this. So we have like 5, 6, 8, 10 different things we're trying to do to make our marketing work. And I understand, like, this is going to be the thought. I'm guessing this will maybe be the question you're asking yourself. It's like, well, Dallas, if it's not working, I got to try something that's working. Like, I need stuff to work. I need to make sales. I need to grow my company. I get that. But here's the thing. Most of us as business owners, this was me for years. Okay. Again, I like to mention this on almost every episode. I'm not here because I have all the answers. I'm here talking to you because I've made tens of thousands of mistakes. I have out-mistaked almost anybody I know. Mistakes. And with those mistakes, I've learned thousands of lessons, and I've learned thousands of things that don't work. And thus, it allowed me to continue the journey to get to some of the things that really did start to work in my life and in my business and for my finances and for my relationships and for marketing and sales and growing a team, blah, blah. So when I was early on, I was naturally add, because I needed the marketing, I needed the sales, I needed the eyeballs, I needed the clients, I needed the list, I needed the fill in the blank. And I imagine there's a lot of you listening to this that you're in that same spot too. But this is what I want you to be very conscientious of is number one, I want you to have urgency, but I also want you to have patience. Dallas, how do you have both? Well, it is something to learn. This is something to rehearse. It is a skill set, in my opinion. It is something that's very, very learnable. But initially, all I was urgent. Urgency. I was trying to get a sale that day. And, there's some parts of that can really drive us. If we need sales, we're trying to make money, we're trying to make a living, we're trying to pay the bills. Sale. Good. Urgency. But part of that patience is that sometimes we get 2 weeks into something, we don't deem it as successful, so we're adding on the next thing. And then we're 30 days into that, and that's not working, and we go on to the next thing. So 6 months later, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 things that we've tried that none of them are working, giving air quotes right now if you're listening, working, because we just haven't given it the time. But then here's what I want you to do, is if you have these 5 things, and now we've tried like 5 different things in 6 months, and none of them are working, right? Well, let's look at what is working the best. And I want to give you a very specific example right now. Like a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, let's say, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I'll get pretty close to this, is that we ran a webinar, a training webinar a couple weeks ago, had a call to action, opportunity to work with us, some sales opportunity in the back end, that kind of thing. We were driving people to this webinar. So we were marketing to 5 different channels. And literally, I'm using the word 5 because that's real. I'm not using this just for example purposes only. It was 5 channels we're using. So we wound up having 460 people register, go to the page for the webinar. So about 460 people. 89% came from one channel. 11%, let's say 10% came from a second channel, and then 1% came from the other 3. Wow. If I'm not paying attention to that stuff, then all I'm doing is just exerting efforts. Now, again, maybe some of you are asking the question, oh, it must be nice, Dallas. Those are big numbers. And yeah, I'll be able to figure that out and have that problem. Yep, but it wasn't always like that, right? I'm sharing this example now because this is where things are today. But going back years ago, that if it was, I'm going to post it here and post it here and post it here and email this and do that and video this and affiliate that and joint venture partner this and paid ads that. And I'm doing 9 things, right? Just trying to get people to the damn webinar, right? And you get 4 people there. You're like, oh my God, 4 people and I did all these things. Well, it's almost certainly, and even if it's 4, we can look at the data and say, okay, well, 4 registered, but who clicked? Who went to the page? Like, where did most of this even come from? And if we're going to look at the 9 things, I promise you, because again, this is the law, it's 80-20, that you're going to find 1 or 2 that, oh gosh, like 30 people went. Unfortunately, only 2 or 3 of them registered, but 30 people went to the page. 30 people from this one place went to the page. And like 5 of these, we had 0 people even go to the page. So now it's like, well, if these 5, cut them off, eliminate them. These are the 5 things that are time sucking, money sucking, energy sucking. They are not providing you the result that you want. And we're putting our time and energies into these 5 things. So now of the 9, we have 4, right? But I bet you it's the same thing, that you're going to be able to look at some data, become a bit of a data wizard, a data science. You don't need to be some great mathematician. It's just, which number's bigger? Is 30 bigger than 2? Oh, well, it looks like this is where people were at least going to. So I'm saying all of that in that now out of 9, if one of them had 30 and then another one had 4, one had 2, one had 0, and the other were zeros, let's focus on the 30. Okay, so this one thing had 30 people go. They didn't all register, but they went. They responded. Okay, there's a couple things going on here. How can I turn 30 into 300? How can I turn 30 into 50, 50 into 100? Any of those, right? I'm not saying you have to 10x it, but how do you grow 30? How can we grow 30? And the other part is, well, 30 went, and let's say 3 registered. Okay, we had 30 go, 3 registered. We had 10%, 3 divided by 30. So we had 10% register. How can I change the page now? So that instead of 10% conversion, maybe we can move that up to 25% or to 30%. So rather it being 3 and 30, what if I can make this 50 and 30%? So maybe it's 50 and 15 people register. Okay, now I've figured out how to move it from 30 to 50 people going to the page. How do I move that from 50 to 100? How do I get 50 to 100? Rather than looking at these other 8 things, how do I get 50 to 100? Do you see where we're going with this? If you're eliminating all of the things that aren't working, but thinking, well, let me post to these 9 things. Let me try these 9 channels. Let me try these 9 platforms. Let me use these 9 different traffic sources, these 9 different marketing mechanisms, and just send people all over the place. What if we're focusing on 1 or 2 tops 2? But the math is going to show you, and once it's proven to you, you will believe it's going to be almost always 1. It is 1. So when we had people go to our webinar and we had 460 people register and we had 89% register from one of those 5, where do we want to put our time? Do we want to try to build up the ones that were all zeros? Do we want to try to build up the one that had 40? Or do we want to build up the one that had like 415, 420 people register? Like, think about that. Like, that's potent. What if we can get 420 to 1,000? And the same thing for the people that went, we had a lot more people go that didn't register. So now there's 2 elements, right? There's 2. How do we increase the people going? And then how can we now tweak what's going on that page, in that message, in that video, in that headline? How can we tweak that so that now we're sending more people and getting more people registered at the same time? So friends, grow and accelerate through elimination. So the stresses and the anxieties of trying to manage 9 things to get 10 people to go, when really 1 or 2 of those 9 things are the things that are even working. So instead of focusing on 9 things and getting stressed and anxious, trying to figure out, oh my God, focus on 1, a little bit of patience. You can be urgent and patient, but the urgency is, I'm going to focus on this where the 9, and then I'm going to eliminate these 8 and I'm going to focus on the 1. So now I'm focusing on the one thing, and I'm going to grow that from 30 to 50 to 70 to 90 to 100 to 150 to 250. Does this happen in a weekend? No. Can this take weeks? Yes. Do you want a sale yesterday? Yes. Do you maybe need to pay your bills yesterday? Yes. But this is the way that in 30 days, you are going to have a lot more information and a lot more data and a lot more intel. In 60 days, oh my God, things start getting pretty cool. In 100 days of focusing on one thing, improving that proverbial, the good old saying, I get better every day. If you're making that better every day, this is how we can get another one. This is how we can go from 30 to 31, 31 to 33, 33 to 39, 39 to 45. This is how we can keep moving that number up. And this is how we can, instead of having 10% conversion on that page, we can move it to 12%, 15%, 18%, 20%. If that's all you're doing, one thing, you will get that number where you're having 100 people go and having 30 register. If it's for a webinar, if it's for a page, if it's for a video, if it's for a download, if it's for an appointment, if it's for sales, if it's for something free, if it's for a conversation, whatever it is, if we focus on the one thing, now we're going to begin to get ourselves to grow and be unstoppable. I promise you, friends, grow through elimination. You will prosper through elimination. You will thrive and you will become the specialist through elimination, not through addition. Friends, do this, take it to heart. Please make this a part of your everyday routine and you will see real differences happen. Be urgent to do these things, but be patient to focus on the one thing so you can keep getting it to grow and get massive results because of it. Friends, my name is Dallas Hardcastle. I'm so glad you were here and you decided to join us. I hope this has been super helpful. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. And as always, make today mammoth, my friends. And I sure look forward to talking with you again very soon. Take care.